Welcome to the first of what is going to be a series of videos on AI development course, which talks mostly about development of AI agents and its uses and a good number of frameworks used in the development. So first of all, I would like to take you through what an AI agent is. An AI agent is essentially an agent that has the capability to make use of artificial intelligence to be able to solve problems. For an instance, you might have an agent that its task is to book a flight. So um, you are making use of this agent right here. So you tell this agent that you want to book a flight due by the weekend. Okay, a flight due by the weekend by say Friday on the weekend, and you're asking this agent, let me book a flight by 3 p.m. by Friday on the weekend. So what this agent does is that it receives your input and then it makes it receives your input as a test. It does not receive it as a predefined instruction. Now, this is different between an agent and a conventional application. An AI agent application makes use of artificial intelligence to interpret information it receives in order to make the best use of it and then give the best response. So you gave it an information to book a flight for you, which is due by Friday by 3 p.m. Okay. So when it receives those instructions from you, okay, what it does is that it has access to an API. This API is called a tool. Okay. So an agent can make use of a tool. Okay. It can also make use of a database and make use of an LLM, which is a large language model. An agent basically can't function without a large language model. Okay. Now the difference between an agent and a large language model is that a large language model is trained, okay, on a limited number of information. For an instance, if this large language model is trained with limited data that is limited to the year 2024, it cannot be able to know what will happen next or what happened yesterday. Okay, it is limited to the training data, unlike an agent, the AI agent. An AI agent has access to informations it can use to actually retrieve data that is in the future. For example, this API tool, it can use it to retrieve data of possible flights that can be booked on Friday by 3 p.m. It can also make use of the database to store this information and be able to retrieve it when needed. And it can also even make use of this LLM to be able to interpret this information in order to know the best response to give back to the user. So let's get back to the case scenario we are talking about. So when this user makes this gives this AI agent an instruction, it might be a recorded instruction or a test instruction. An AI agent can actually understand the recorded instruction and also a test instruction, making use of tools. The same way to make use of this API tool, it can actually make use of other tools. For instance, conversing test voice notes to test to be able to pass it and interpret it. So when this user makes this request to book flight by 3 p.m. on Friday, either through voice or text input, this AI agent receives the input of the instruction and then makes use of the LLM, the large language model, to interpret it in order to understand the user's request. After the interpretation, it makes use of the API to search for available flights by 3 p.m. on Friday. Now, this is the best part of an AI agent. Unlike a conventional application where you have to like select inputs and make requests and get data back in a predefined manner. An AI agent is actually very flexible in the type of response it gives to you. Also, it has the ability to also make changes to your inputs, modify it, and be able to provide better responses according to the required objective. So, when this AI agent receives the instructions, it makes a request to this API to retrieve available flights 3 p.m. on Friday. But if these flights are not available, all right, when it retrieves this information from the API, it makes use of the LLM once more to interpret it and compare it to the instruction given by the user. Okay, if there are no flights available by 3 p.m., what does it do? It gives the user a response. There are no flights available by 3 p.m. on Friday. Though there is a flight available by 1 p.m., will you be able to make it? Should I proceed with the booking? Then this user can say, yes, I can be able to make it, proceed with the booking. So what does this agent do? It makes use of another tool, which is a tool that books flights. Let me draw an arrow here. Let me call it booking tool. All right, this is another tool that actually books flights. Okay, now it makes use of this tool to book the flights. And when the booking is completed, it can actually store it in a calendar database. Let me just leave the database here. Let me call it calendar database. The database, pardon my writing, calendar database, and it saves it up here, so that when is on about 12 maybe 12 p.m. on Friday, to remind this user you have a flight leaving in the next 1 hour. So after doing that, then it sends a feedback. This arrow indicates feedback to the user. Your flight has been booked by 1 p.m. on Friday, and I've actually stored it in a calendar to be able to remind you on Friday by 12 p.m. that you have available flights in the next 1 hour. So you can actually see how smart an AI agent is. It's actually an artificial intelligence help that can actually help you to get tasks done in much easier and faster way. But the thing about AI agents is that each agent can only do one task at a time. An agent can have access to tools, can have access to an API, to a database, even to a weather tool, a browsing tool, okay? But it can still only do one action at a time. Even though it has access to a lot of tools, if it has access to a browser tool, it can only browse. Since this agent is all about booking flights, can only browse to check for flights, okay? If it's an agent that's about checking weather and it has access to a browser tool, it can only check weather. So you see how it works. And agents can only do one thing at a time and do it very well. But there is something called multi-agents, okay? A multi-agents, as it sounds, just multiple agents working together. So for an instance, I might have this agent 1 here. Let me just duplicate it. Okay, just duplicate. Okay, now you can see a lot of agents here. You can see this is agent 1, this agent 2, agent 3, agent 4, agent 5, agent 6, agent 7. All right, now this is a multi-agent system. Now remember, in this multi-agent system, each agent can also only do one task at a time. This might be a flight booking agent, this might be a hotel reservation agent, okay, this might be a weather checking agent, this might be a calendar updates agent to take up the reminders in your calendar and keep reminding you one after the other. This might be another agent that maybe books a taxi on an Uber. Okay, this may be an agent that organizes the tasks you have for the day. This might be an agent that does something else, or maybe tells you what to eat in the morning, afternoon, night. Okay, so this is a multi-agent system. Okay, now the thing about multi-agent is that it has one manager that actually manages them. Now that one manager is also an agent. Okay, it is also an agent, but his job is to delegate tasks to all other agents and manages them. Okay, that's the master agent. Now in a multi-agent system, the manager, when you give an instruction in a multi-agent system, you are giving it directly to the manager, and then the manager agent will determine which agent to delegate that task. Okay, for example, it might delegate a particular task to one agent, and then when he receives a response from it, he pushes that response into another agent. Okay, this is where the LLM, the large language model, comes in. The large language model is used by the agent to make decisions and know what to do next. And if the giving response is not what is needed, it can actually modify it adding it what you have to what it can provide by itself in order to make more queries and able to give you exactly what you want. So we look at these agent systems, and then I would like to show you what we'll be going through in the videos each week. I will kind of provide a video that we talk about building one of the agent systems. Okay, so this is the outline of what we might be building each week. So as you can see from the screen, you can see an image generation agent. We look at how to develop an image generation agent, video generation agent, text generation agents. Though we might not be able to build everything here, but this is actually a guideline of what we are going to do. Okay, the thing about building these agents, if you can be able to learn how to build 4 different agents for maybe 4 different case scenarios. For example, how to build an image and video and text generation agent. Okay, text generation agent, then speech synthesis agent. Okay, if you can get these 4, the others you can actually it won't be difficult for you to grasp when going through the rest. So you can see we also have a face recognition agent, and then a recommendation agent. Like I told you before, time right now, each agent can only do one task and do it very well. Now, when you have a system that has all these agents combined together, that's where you have a multi-agent system. All right. So we will look through how to develop these agents on our own. So before that, I believe you have a little bit of a programming experience, because we actually be writing a little bit of code, not much, just a tiny little bit of code. So but if you do not actually, someone who does not actually have any programming experience, and then you would like to experiment on how this agent system works, then there is a platform on Hugging Charts, yeah. Let me check up the okay, Hugging Face.chat. Okay, this is another this is an agent course from Hugging Face. Also, you can also look it through. They have a lot of explanation, especially on some of the frameworks we are going to use in development of these agent systems. You will see the link on the description of the video. You will see I need you to go through especially LangGraph, because that's mostly what we'll be using. We also look at Llama Index framework. It actually simplifies developing agent systems a lot. There's also small agents. You can use this when you're trying to learn how to build the agents, but you don't actually you're not actually going to use small agents to actually develop production ready agents. But Llama Index and LangGraph are the 2 frameworks you are going to use when you want to build a production agent. So at the end of the course, there's also a bonus section where you can learn how to apply agents in games. It's actually very fun. So I recommend that you go through this course too. But whatever we are going to build is not actually in this course. So we're actually going to be doing something different. Yeah. But this is also very helpful for you to learn about the frameworks we are going to use. Though I will also touch on the frameworks before we get started on the courses. So as I was saying, if you do not like a lot of coding, but you want to experiment how this agent system works and how you can develop one by yourself, then I will encourage you to look at Hugging Face Chats. They have a platform where you can actually build agents and test how it works. So that's huggingface.co/chat. Here agents are called assistants. Click on assistants. Yep. When you click on assistance, you will see different agents developed by other people. These are agents built by people without any single line of code. All you need to do is click on create new assistant. All right. Create new assistant. Enter the name of the assistant, a little bit of description. Then select the model you want to use, a large language model. Remember what I told you, without a large language model, an agent wouldn't be able to perform effectively. So you select one of the large language models here. Hugging Face has a lot of free large language models. Then you enter the start message you want for the agent to show whenever you click on start. Okay. Then you select some tools. Remember, I explained something about tools. We explained about the API tools the agents can make use of. All right. So from here, you can actually select some tools. For example, website screenshot tool. You can see a lot of tools here. Fetch URL tool. Okay. Yeah. Then you select some options. Do you want it to have an internet access? If yes, click on web search, domain search, etc. Then right here is where you talk about you give the agent a prompt. You are telling the agent, the assistant, what it is really and how it's going to be able to serve users. For example, you're an assistant that responds to users according to their medical health. They tell you the symptoms they're having, then you tell them the name of the disease is likely to be, and even maybe recommend some medicines. But also, you have to tell them that you are not a physician. They should visit a hospital to be able to give him the best medical attention. So this is where you write all those kind of prompts that the agent will use. It serves as an identity to the agent. The agent is going to hold on them in order to be able to respond to users. So from here you can see all assistants built by people. That's a single line of code. Hugging Chat actually already provides the framework, the backbone where you can build upon. So I actually tried it and it was actually very interesting. Yes, these are Africa agents. Yep, I actually did this. For example, you click on what animals can you see? Can I see in Africa? Okay, it searches and also gives a response after that. So this is actually what we'll be going through on the development of the agents course. So after this particular first course, and then I'll start releasing each course every week. So once again, you're welcome to the channel and see you again next week.